Today it is my pleasure to be joined by Siobhan Noble, who is Head of Producing at the Shakespeare North Playhouse in Prescot. Now, Siobhan has over 10 years worth of experience in creating regional touring theatre, producing, co-owning theatres, developing writing festivals, writing opportunities, sourcing unusual venue spaces, and she continues to work tirelessly to improve access to the arts for everyone. So it is a real treat to be joined by you and meet you today, Siobhan. So thank you very much for finding time for us.
Thank you, that was such a lovely introduction.
So here at Shakespeare North, you are the head of producing. So tell us a little bit about what that means and what your job what you have to do every day.
Yeah, so I have a team of producers that work with me, and we programme each of our performance spaces. So we've got 3 performance spaces here. We have the cockpit, which is at the heart of the building, which is our beautiful replica cockpit and court theatre. And that's our main stage. We're in the round at the moment, so we have 450 seats in the round. And we programme our co-productions in there. We also have an amazing visiting programme. And as well as that, we have music events and one-off audience with style events. And then we have our 2 other performance spaces. We've got the studio, which is a much smaller space, but it's a really great space for artists to come together and try out new work, and it's for small scale tours. So that has a capacity of 87. We've recently just increased the capacity within the space, and the programming there is absolutely wonderful. Lots of new and exciting work, new writing, as well as some traditional Shakespeare pieces as well, and lots of young people's work in there. We do a brilliant Christmas programme that happens each year. And then we have our performance garden, which is our outdoor space. It's the Sir Kendog Performance Garden, which was funded by the Kendog Foundation. And we programme that during our summer months because it gets very wet and windy out there during the winter. But it's a beautiful space, very convivial, lots of family programming out there, lots of Shakespeare performed in the way that it would have been way back then.
And then you have so many other pieces of incredible work as well. Of course, you've got Jim Cartwright's 2 coming up. So tell us a little bit about that one and the special event that you have as well.
Yes, so 2 by Jim Cartwright will be performed here in March. The cast for it is Sarah White and Michael Stark. So they are 2 incredible actors who started their careers in Brookside. So there's a lovely synchronicity to the piece because obviously the original cast of 2, when it was first performed at the Bolton Octagon, was Sue Johnston and John McArdle, who were both in Brookside at the time. The piece is just beautifully written. Jim Cartwright's writing is amazing. It's poetry on stage, really. The 2 actors play every single part within the play. So we meet 14 different characters, and Michael and Sarah take on each of those characters, and it's going to be such a brilliant, such an amazing show. It's being directed by Lisa Allen, who is our creative director, and it's a Shakespeare North production, so it's all in-house creatives that are working on it, which is really, really exciting. And as part of the wraparound activity for 2, we have Sue Johnston and John McArdle coming to Shakespeare North, and they will do on the final Sunday of the run, the Sunday after our final performance, they will do an audience where they'll talk about their careers and they'll talk about their experience performing in 2 and everything that's happened since, which is really, really exciting.
It is really special, that, and like you say, the synchronicity of it all, the way it's all just working, it's just like it's meant to be, isn't it?
It really is, yeah, it really is. And on a personal level, to be able to work with Jim Cartwright's words is like a pinch me moment for me because he is one of my all-time favourite writers.
Yes, I know, well, what's not to love?
Exactly.
And as well as that, you kind of really have an amazing way of trying to ensure that your spaces just don't go dark. You have receiving companies coming in doing like one-nighters, but you have comedy, music, audiences with, and there's just so much going on all the time, isn't there?
Yeah, so one of the producers within my team has a real focus on comedy, Bridget Mulroy. She programmes comedy outside of Shakespeare North as well, but within her role in the building, she began a night called Women Aren't Funny, which was a studio night, and it's focused on female comedians, and that is going to be coming to the cockpit as well this year. So there will be a Women Aren't Funny in the cockpit with an amazing headliner that is shortly going to be announced. So keep your eyes out for that one. And then we have one-nighters for comedy as well. So we have James Acaster come in, which is completely sold out so quickly. It's brilliant. And yeah, Justin Morehouse, lots of really great names who are coming as part of their tours. As well as the comedy, we have our Audience With series. So we have lots of different one-nighters of people just coming and having conversations about their pathway into the arts. So it's people of profile, things like the Sue and John night. So yeah, it's great. We have there's something for everything. I think there's something for everybody within the programme. We're really developing our musical audience at the moment. We know that our audiences love to see live music, so we're developing how that looks. We're shortly about to put on sale Badly Drawn Boy, Q&A sides with Badly Drawn Boy, which I'm so excited about. I think sometimes I am just programming music that I love. But other people see it sells well.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some absolutely amazing artists from the Liverpool City region that perform here as well. In April we've got Down in Laurel Canyon, which is a group of artists who perform the music of Laurel Canyon. They first did it at the Philharmonic, and they've done a show here previously, and audiences absolutely loved it. So that's happening here in April. Sells really well, and everybody really loves the night. And we regularly work with the Classic Double Band, and they present 2 different albums back to back. So we've got, for Valentine's Day coming up, we've got Fleetwood Mac by the Classic Double Band, who are all these amazingly talented artists from the Liverpool City region. Just bringing an amazing night to our stage, which is great.
And just listening to you talk, I can even hear, like I said at the start, that you continuously work to make, the arts, the creative arts, so accessible for everybody. And just listening to you talk, I can see that literally is playing out right here at Shakespeare North. And it's for audiences, but it's also for artists as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. So we've just launched our Originate Artist Development Programme as well. So as well as the programme of works that we're putting out for people to come along and see, we're also nurturing artists. They can come along and have a week in our studio space where they just experiment. They can do a week of research and development, whether they have a tiny idea that they just want to pad out and see how it looks. They just get the studio as a space to create and play. Nurturing artists is so important. It's about the place that we're in as well. So for us, it's really important that we're nurturing artists from Knowsley and from the Liverpool City region, and ensuring that this space feels like it is for everybody, because it is.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it really is. You have so many additional things as well, as if that's not enough. You've got tours that you do where you welcome people in, you have baby bards, you have film club, you do home education sessions. There's so much, isn't there?
Yeah, the tours are great. I love to go on a tour because they're led by our wonderful visitor experience team and volunteers who are so passionate about the building and about the history as to why Shakespeare North is happening in this place. And yeah, they're really interesting. I try and go on them every like 6 months maybe, just to refresh myself and remind myself what's kind of what the why as to why we're here. They're brilliant. So the tours are great. And then we have loads and loads of regular groups that meet here. So we have a shared writing group, shared reading. We have baby bards, which is a lovely session for little ones.
Even the name.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah, our learning and engagement team are absolutely brilliant. The work that they do with young people and the communities that we serve is just great.
Yeah. So how long in advance then, with all of this going on, do you kind of have to get everything programmed and sort of planned out? Because I imagine it's quite, like for instance, A Midsummer Night's Dream, how long ago did you kind of say, right, that's what's going to be here in the schedule?
Gosh, that's been in conversation for maybe a year or so before they've actually arrived. In terms of programming our co-productions, we're looking to like 2028, 29 now. So I feel like sometimes we're wishing our lives away a little bit, because we're always kind of forward planning, but it's really important to be doing that forward planning and thinking about what audiences would like to see down the line. We've got some really exciting plans for future co-productions. Coming up this year, we've got Nell Gwyn, which we're co-producing with Theatre by the Lake and Storyhouse Open Air Theatre the Grosvenor Theatre over in Chester. And that's going to be a huge musical piece that focuses on the character of Nell Gwyn, which will be brilliant. Really looking forward to that. Then we have a production in autumn, which we'll be announcing very soon. We produce our own Christmas title each year. This year's Christmas title will be A Christmas Carol, which is we're really looking forward to bringing that to life on stage. So yeah, we're kind of always forward planning. We're thinking about what Christmas 2027 is going to look like at the moment too.
I can't even decide what to have for my tea.
Same.
So you've said, obviously, you put these different music on. You said, I feel like I'm just doing but if you could, what would your dream sort of season look like? If you could say, I've got a theatre, this is for me, this is what I'm going to do.
Do you know, realistically, I think it's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
I absolutely love every piece of work that we bring to the stage. I love the conversations that we have with different visiting companies and developing those relationships with artists from across the country to bring them here to Prescot. I think we're doing it. We're doing what my dream seasons would look like. It's really exciting, and we say we want to be bold and to be brave, and things like Dream from Headlong and The Globe, that is so bold and so brave, and I do think that we're close to cracking it. I mean, if I could programme one music act, then it'd be Fleetwood Mac, the real deal, but I think they might be a bit too big for our...
You never know, put it out there. Put it out
Give
there
it to the
you
universe.
Don't know what comes back. So you mentioned your different venues, and your main one, I mean, it's just stunning, isn't it? To have that kind of replica of the Globe. Do you love kind of watching when people go in and there's like the factor?
Yeah, it never gets old. I always thought when I first started here, I've been working at Shakespeare North since this was a building site. So my first day, I had to put on the big rigger boots and a hard hat and come onto a building site to see what it was like. And I can remember my first time walking into the cockpit, which was just a frame of the theatre, and being blown away by it and being so excited about what it was going to become and how it was going to look. And then the first few times I took people in there, seeing how blown away by it that they were, and I thought I'm gonna get used to that, and I still don't. I've got a route that I like to take people in through. I like to go in through the pit passage because you get the full of the this is wow, we're stepping back in time, and you've got the whole kind of, it still smells really new, and it's got that oaky smell. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
just something
space.
Special, isn't it?
It's really special. It feels sometimes quite meditative in there. It's because it's got so much oak, and it's just so beautifully put together. It feels like a really special place to be.
Well, that's because it is.
Yeah.
And so finally, what would you kind of say to people who might feel a little bit intimidated by Shakespeare, or think, Shakespeare's not for me? What kind of would you say to break that stigma and really invite people into the space to watch something like Midsummer Night's Dream? Yeah,
I would say Shakespeare is for everybody. Shakespeare was creating his work for working people, and that's kind of, we've lost that a little bit in knowing that's what the work was created for. But Shakespeare was a man creating work for working class people and for everybody. It really is for everybody. Don't be put off by the language. We often approach it in very different ways. You will always have a good night if you come to watch a Shakespeare title here at Shakespeare North. It will always be entertaining, and you will go away feeling like you've been a part of something really, really special. So come along and just give it a chance.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And it's been an absolute pleasure. Come along to Shakespeare North Playhouse in Prescot. They have so much going on. Thank you, Siobhan, and we will see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.